Were the women in your employ women that had sex for money?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you have women that they're not physical therapists, they're not registered nurses, they're not people that do other skills, they're prostitutes. They're people that do sex for money, right? They're
Yeah,
call
but
girls.
many of
They
them
pled guilty for being prostitutes, right?
Many of them were very educated, and yes, I had a couple of doctors at work, I had a couple of accountants, I had one who worked for the IRS.
But they weren't doing your books.
No.
They were going between the sheets.
Yes.
So, I mean, come on. That's what I mean about insulting my intelligence.
It's not insulting. You want a black and a white answer.
I just want the
I
truth.
lived in a gray area. I have nothing to hide. I pleaded guilty. What more can I do than plead guilty?
Are you guilty of promoting prostitution? You say yes in the eyes of the law. So you carve out that maybe you're not. You say your matchmaking business started legitimately, but it turned into something else.
Yes.
You admit that it turned into something.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else did it turn into?
It started off where people would come to me, and some of them would be married. I'm looking for some companionship. I'm very lonely, but I don't want the complications of somebody trying to ruin my life. You know, and I realized there was a niche for that, especially with their men in their 40s. So what I did was, you know, I started like kind of surfing around and saying to women, you know, I have a gentleman, he's older, he's married, he's looking to meet somebody, have you got an interest? And the overwhelming response was absolutely. So I started that as the sugar daddy business. But then what happened was, you know, sometimes people don't want a commitment for 6 months or a year. So they want to say, can I test run and go away for a weekend? And then, of course, the girl doesn't want to go for free, so she wants to make sure she's taken care of. And that's how it all started.
How many women did you have in your employ?
I would say at any given time, 50 to 100 globally, but they didn't work every week, every month. But
how much money did you make from this?
Oh, I might make anywhere from 600 for the induction to 1,000 for the introduction, and I might get 2 in that week. Then I might get nothing for 3 weeks, and then I might get 4 in 1 week. There is no formula, but it was very slow. I made a little living, not $15 million. That was all hyped up. I mean, you saw how I live. I lived in a $300,000 house. I had a basic mortgage to pay. I mean, it was very basic.
What's the most money you ever made in a month off of this?
Oh, I think a bumper of a month. A bumper was like Super Bowl weekends, was amazing. I made a lot of money.
Yeah, and so for weekends, this doesn't sound like people test driving girls for a long-term relationship. Sounds to me like they come in for a Super Bowl weekend and you hook them up with a hooker.
Yeah.
Ready to get real? Subscribe to the Dr. Phil Show YouTube channel for exclusive videos you won't see anywhere else.